Hey, how y'all doing? It's Sharonda, and hey, how y'all doing? And I'm here with some quick bookish thoughts. Let's get to this thing, shall we? All right, so today I am going to be using my reading journal. I have not used this thing in a while, so I'm pretty excited. I think I'm going to start using this like going forward. Not going forward, but for some of my videos, instead of, because sometimes I don't feel like being on camera, child. I just don't feel like it. So I think this is a good option. So I just popped on right over here to the index page, and we're just going to go ahead and click on the book review. And it takes us to our first page where we have a mood board, and then on this other side is where, you know, we do the things we need to do for this review. Now, I'm going to be talking Fiasco by Constance Fay. I did receive this book from the publisher. I received the EARC, and then they sent the paperback, this lovely paperback, which I think the cover looks so much better in person. They sent the paperback in the mail later. And the publisher is Tor with its imprint Bramble, which is their romance imprint. But anyway, so what I'm doing here right now, I'm just going to go ahead and drop the cover on of the book here so we can get to this thing. So I'm just going to do a little offshoot and talk about the book while I'm talking about what I'm doing here in this journal, all right? So this first part, like I said, I'm just dropping the cover, and then on the other side, I'm just going to add, the title, the author. You see all these things, all right? So let's talk about this book. Um, so like I said, this is the second book in her Uncharted Hearts series. Um, this book is about Sin, who was a side character in the first book, Calamity, I believe. So, Sin is a bounty hunter, and she has been on this constant search for this kidnapper. This kidnapper takes kids and, you know, t- demands a ransom. And if the family does not pay the ransom, then, unfortunately, sorry, bye bye, kid, right? So, um, this is what happened with Sin and her family. Her cousin was taken, and then when Sin and her family could not get the credits to this person back in time, you know, you know, you know. So, Sin has been on this constant search for this person. It's been like a thing for her because she has always felt guilty that she was, like never able to rescue her cousin or get to her cousin in time. So it's just been like this whole guilty thing that's been riding her for years. So when we go inside Fiasco, Sin has a new bounty. She has to help the crew of the Calamity look for this current child that has been kidnapped. The child has been kidnapped. The child that was kidnapped comes from a very, very wealthy family. And from my understanding from reading Sin's book, is also a relative of the main male character in that first book. But anyway, so listen, y'all, Sin is going through it. She just can't get it together, right? She's trying to look for this damn person. She's this bounty hunter, which ain't the easiest goddamn job in the world, okay? And she is constantly in debt, all right? So when this bounty, or when this job, I won't say it's a bounty, I'll say it's a job. When this job comes through from one of these wealthy families, because from my understanding from reading this book, it's like these 15 wealthy families or whatever throughout this series, and which the main male character in the first book belonged to. But again, anyway, she has to help the crew of the Calamity find this child. And they know that Sin has always been searching for this person, and she's actually been in contact with the person, like, maybe more than 3 times or whatever, but just has never been able to get her goddamn hands on them. So so it's like, we don't work together. But it's a lot of people, not a lot, but it's like it's a small crew. So it's a couple of people on this crew, they don't trust in, right? They just like, we don't trust your ass, okay? We side on you, we keeping our good and bad eyes on you, okay? And one of those people is Micah, who is the medic on the Calamity. And Micah picks up right from jump, y'all. He picks up right from jump. Like, this lady ain't who the hell she's saying is. Because since she's a bounty hunter, she tends to take on these different, people and shit. So Micah's like, girl, girl, I smell you. You ain't who you say you is, and all this other stuff. So Sin has to tell him, like, I understand y'all don't trust me, from the situation that happened with us, from before. We got a little rocky past, but I ain't here for all that. I'm here to help y'all catch this kidnapper, this person, because I got some grievances, okay? I got some revenge to be taken out on this person. So, back up off me or whatever. But there is this attraction between, you see, like, this tense attraction between Micah and Sin. But Sin is a very flawed character. She's really driven by her guilt in this book of not finding her cousin in time. And I also feel like she was a very complected character as well, because of this guilt that she had. But Sin has a lot of trauma that she has not been able to deal with properly. It keeps her away from her family. It's like a forced staying away from her family. But reading this book, I found out that people just ban their families, which is what happened to Micah. But they just ban their damn families and shit and send them off. But Sin was just like this really just very flawed, complected character. I liked her a lot, and I rooted for her a lot in this book, because you just can see the trauma and the guilt that was riding her, and she just didn't know what to do with it, right? And in comes Micah, and Micah starts noticing this, even though he still got his good and bad eye on her. He's just like, there's something about this lady. And he also noticed that she's very reckless when she does these things. She just jumps into shit. Like, I mean, she thinks about it sometimes, but sometimes she don't. And Micah's just like, you wildin'. So I like their chemistry that they had together. I do wish the author had built a little bit more into their romance. It just wasn't there on page, which is why I gave it like the little one cayenne pepper there. Because, like, they had some sexy times together. And like I said, you can see the sexual tension between them. But, the romance wasn't there. And I just wanted the romance to be there a little bit more. No, a whole lot more. Because it was just like, they were doing all these things throughout the book. And then, by the end of the book, they're together. So I just wanted more romance with them. You know what? I ain't going to go off the chain too much. But I did just want more romance between them. Micah, he was a good book boyfriend, in my opinion. I just really liked Micah. I love that he noticed these things about Sin. And even though, like, in the beginning, he didn't trust her a whole lot, he was just like, something's going on with this lady, and I gotta help her. And Sin really just didn't know what to do with all of that, right? So sidebar, what I'm doing here is I'm going over to Goodreads to copy and paste my review of this book, and I'm just going to take it and put it back on the journaling page. And also, another sidebar, y'all gonna see where I'm just gonna struggle in adding this my review to the journal page, because oh god, I'm still trying to figure out and learn how to work with this iPad. So Yeah, you see, it's just, it was giving me a real headache. But let's get back to Sin and Micah. Um, but I like how he was just like, he noticed all these things with her and he instantly wanted to help her. And I did like that he fell first. Like, Sin was feeling Micah too. Don't get me wrong. She was feeling him too. But I like how the author kind of like put it on page. Like, he fell first. And that, I always like that. And Micah is also like a very grumpy character, and in my opinion, so is Sin. She's not as grumpy as Micah, but I did like the whole grump to grump thing going on here between them. Like, I mean, he was on the point of, he was to the point of being a little bit mean and shit, but you know what? I liked it. And I don't know what it is about me and my reading thoughts, but I like mean male characters. I don't know why. And I ain't even gonna lie, let me stop lying. I like mean female characters too, depending on how the author writes them. And I think Constance Fay did a bang out job with both Sin and Micah's character. So, one of the other things that did not work for me with the book was the pacing. The pacing in this book it takes a while for you to get inside of the story because, like I said earlier, Miss Fay does have a lot of things going on inside of this book. It's kidnappings and it's space chasings and it's fight scenes. Sidebar to that, bang out motherfucking job because they was getting down in this book. I mean, even Sin, I was like, girl, you better, you know what I'm saying, even though sometimes she was getting her ass kicked, y'all. But anyway, yeah, action was good as well. But I think that because she tried to give us so much information about this world and the characters in this world, it kind of like slowed up the pace in it a lot. So I didn't feel that, but the world building is outstanding. It's great. I was here for the world building. So what I'm doing here, I did grab these photos off of Unsplash, which is like a photography app that a lot of folks use. So I just took a couple of photos here to drop on the mood board. Child, bear with me. I'm new to doing this mood board thing, even though I do a whole lot of like journaling and stuff, but it's just like this mood boards just, I have to learn how to do these pictures and stuff. But I saw this picture here on the side of this guy like standing. I'm guessing on a movie set or whatever. I thought that was real cool, and I love this image of this model here, which I thought was just kind of like a perfect fit for like Sin's character. And like I said earlier, how she's just really like this flawed, complex character in the background that the model is against in this picture is really just like excellent. But again, the world the world building in this book was it made up for the pacing. Not too much, but it made up for the pacing that we got inside of Fiasco. But all in all, Fiasco is a fun read. I really did enjoy the characters. I enjoyed this world. I enjoyed this story. Like, the story itself is just really, really great. And y'all, sidebar for the kidnapper. If y'all read this book, I'm telling y'all, it's going to take y'all by surprise because it blew my goddamn brain back. I was like, oh. And Sin was so surprised when she finally found out who the kidnapper is. Oh my God, just like, wow. But another thing that I liked in here was the family dynamics that she put inside of this book. It was just like really great. Like, you just saw like the the tension and all the crazy things that tended to go on with Sin's family. But she did come from, like, even though her family was, like, little poor, you know, they cared about her, and her parents cared about her, and they were worried about her, you know what I'm saying? But still, this was a fun read, and I highly, highly suggest it. So what I'm doing here is I was on Etsy again, y'all, and I found like this cute little book sticker pack, and that's what I'm doing here, which is why I sped it up a little, because y'all don't need to see me going through all these goddamn folders or whatever, looking for stickers or whatever. So that is what I'm doing here. But if you like science fiction with romance elements, then I would definitely say add Fiasco to your summer reading list. It's, like I said, it's a fun read. Check it out. I ain't gonna go on too much here, because then I'll start rambling, and then y'all gonna be like, what is this girl going on about? So that is it for me with this particular book and review. Thank you so much to Tor Bramble for the opportunity to read this book early, and tell y'all what I thought about it. Definitely add it to your summer TBR. And until the next one, later days, bye. And I'm just gonna let the music play on out, so y'all have fun. I'm about to get up out of here.